I did want to point something out. I'm not sure what the fascination is. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but when we do crime stories here, when we had Pietro Paletti, the former Montreal police officer who had worked, in the gang squad for 30 years, that thing blew up on our website. I think Brian said we're over 1,000 views, or listens, if you will. When we did a podcast for the Gazette for the Corner Booth where we had Mr. Paletti on, it's now at 103,000 views. And when you sit back and you're wondering, like, why all this interest? What's the deal
fascination.
here?
It's an unknown world.
Yeah. And you find out a lot of things you either never knew. And, when a woman was shot in broad daylight, a lot of people looked up and said, wait a sec, we kind of thought things had quietened down. And that's clearly not the case. Then Francesco Del Balso gets killed 2 or 3 weeks ago. And now 2 arrests in the Leonardo Rizzuto attempted murder. I guess we can say that. He's survived. Antonio NICASO is a Queen's University lecturer and expert on the Calabrian Mafia. He's on the line. Mr. NICASO, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Let's begin with these 2 arrests. It didn't take, all things considered, that long. This happened in March. They're now been arrested and charged, and here we are only a couple of months later. What do you make of that?
But the consequence, this investigation led to the arrest of these 2 men. We know very little about them. One of them is an alleged member of powerful street gangs, Le Rouge, the Blood. Another one was always with them. They both attended the funeral of Del Balso, and also one of the 2 had previously attempted to kill another member of the Rizzuto clan in 2016 and had been sentenced to 3 years in prison.
So we do know a little bit about them in terms of, you mentioned, I think we both kind of sat back when you said they both attended Del Balso's funeral. So they're obviously well known to police.
Yes, they were well known to police, especially one of them, Kevin Rochebron. He was, as I said, involved in another attempted murder in 2016, and he spent 3 years in prison.
So an obvious question, I guess, would be, where do we go from here? Is this the end of it? Are scores settled, or what?
If the 2 men arrested a few days ago act on behalf of Del Balso, the game could come to a close. But if other individuals plan the attack on Leonardo Rizzuto, the game becomes more complicated. It's a power struggle, and we know that began in 1974, resumed in 2006, but still has repercussions to this day.
Okay, and what do we know? We always hear about different factions, if you will, and the Hells Angels being involved. Has that name come up in these circumstances?
Everyone noticed Mr. Martin Robin's presence at the Balso funeral, and Robin is considered one of the most influential figures of the Hells Angels in Quebec. So apparently Del Balso had a good connection with some street gangs, and he could also rely on influential connection among the Hells Angels. But we don't know if they were involved in the attempted murder of Mr. Leonardo Rizzuto.
All right. I'm trying, there's so much we don't know with respect to, what family connections run deep, which ones don't. Can we say these are, because I know when we talked to Pietro Paletti, the idea was, beyond the Italian Mafia, there are a lot of different gangs now that have emerged, certainly in this city. Do we assume that they're also trying to gain some of that power from the Italian Mafia?
But let's say that Vittorio Rizzuto managed to create a consortium, a kind of a strategic alliance between the mafia, the street gangs, Hells Angels, the Irish mob. After he passed away, no one was able to keep all this group together, and I think this is all about money and greed. So everyone is trying to make a move to get more power. So that's what Del Balso tried to do.
Okay, and how does the murder of Claudia Iacano factor into all of this? Because we've heard that there is an unwritten rule that you don't when it comes to women. So what happened there, do you think?
But we don't know if Claudia Iacano murder is related to the Montreal Mafia. We know that she was related to a senior member of the Rizzuto clan, that was killed in Mexico because he betrayed Vito Rizzuto. But we don't know if that murder is related to the Montreal Mafia or to something different.
All right, it's fascinating always to hear this and try to understand what exactly is going on. Antonio NICASO, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Natasha.
Thank you so much.